Most people know S1mple as one of the greatest AWPers to play the game, but while his aggressive and consistent AWPing style is unique, it's really a culmination of a history of memorable AWPers and the meta changes that created them. To truly appreciate the level of dominance S1mple has right now, we have to look at the history of aggressive AWPing in CSGO. This video is brought to you by Upcomer, the all-in-one mobile app for esports fans. It's got everything you need to keep up with CSGO matches before, during, and after each game. With the app, you can follow teams for notifications when they play, check event schedules, find brackets and standings, and get live updating scores as games are being played. Use the link, also posted in the description, to download Upcomer for iOS and Android totally free. Let's start in 2014. When CSGO transitioned into a more complex system of top teams and tournaments, Pasha Biceps briefly became the best AWPer in the world. While Katowice and Guardian eventually became more popular AWPers using a more free-flowing dueling style, Pasha was the first to really bring aggressive AWPing onto the big stages around the world. At ESL1 Cologne 2014, we saw a great example of Pasha's ballsy AWPing style in the quarterfinals against LDLC on Dust 2. We see that LDLC are on a weak bye, unlikely to have an AWP. Pasha, knowing this, looks to assert early mid control with his AWP, posting up on the mid doors. He hits a nicely timed shot onto KQLY through the smoke as he peeks behind the boxes. Pasha then looks to maintain his aggressive tempo, re-peeking top mid, nading, and then falling back when Uzi flashes Apex through the doors. Pasha's able to pick Apex, then re-peeks again to find Happy at top mid. Pasha then quickly repositions to short to catch Uzi in transition, before riskily running down short with a CZ for the ace. The key factor that makes all of this happen is Pasha's level of aggression. LDLC was completely unprepared for it. As time went on, Pasha's style of AWPing started running into problems. First, there was the AWP nerf of early 2015, which lowered the scoped-in movement of the gun, making aggressive peeking more difficult. The second major setback for Pasha's aggressive style was a change in the general metagame of CS. As teams became more aware of aggressive AWPing, they began to adjust their play to counter it. This is where Katowice and JW come in.
They'll be nading off, and JW, of course, lands the first shot. They're going to be fully aware. Making a double.
He needs Shucks to support him. He's watching for a play, but what? Oh my god, Kenny gets an incredible kill against Sixer.
Both Katowice and JW emphasized a flicking style of play that hinged on fast, tight movement to hit seemingly impossible shots. While Pasha's confident re-peeks were slowed down by the nerf,
what are you doing?
Katowice and JW's flicks weren't reliant on scoped movement.
This could be epic. He gets pushed out and he finds the frag on a patron. What a way to open things.
This new wave of aggressive AWPers studied the meta for openings and sought to catch enemies off guard with their brave timings and ridiculous risk-reward style.
Still towards highway.
To see this, let's compare a JW Dust 2 clip from mid-2015 to that last clip of Pasha. Facing off against Virtus.pro at the Gfinity Spring Masters 2 in the Grand Finals, JW similarly expects a shaky bye from the terrorists and posts up on mid early. A T jumps to suicide as KQLY did, with JW firing the same shot Pasha took through the smoke. This time though, the T hides behind the boxes, knowing an AWP could be posted up on the angle. The Ts are far more careful in how they deal with JW around mid, thanks to the evolving meta. JW isn't given anywhere near the same amount of openings as Pasha had a year prior. Still though, JW looks to keep up the pressure. He holds his forward map control and hits a tight shot onto Taz crossing top mid. He looks for the re-peek as Pasha did, but this time there's a flash there from the Ts anticipating the peek, forcing him off the angle. The objective of Pasha and JW in these clips is the same, but because of how the meta has shifted, JW is forced to approach the situation under far more pressure and awareness from the Ts. It is this same awareness, though, that JW would use to his advantage. When the meta adjusted to counter old opping patterns, JW countered that counter with surprise timings. A famous example of this was his push through a long door molly to catch a T-side Dust 2 default off
Gonna
guard.
hit the leg shot there on Flusher and has to immediately fall back with JW. He wants this madness. He's picking up it. Fallen with the first shot, goes for the second, here's the headshot. Kiyoshima going down, Fallen, no scope, he takes down MBK as well. And
As 2015 came to a close, we would see Fallen develop this aggressive style even further, bringing the crazy decision-making and off-kilter timings of JW into clutch situations.
And, never mind, a multitasker, huge kills.
Often in a 2vx scenario with Coldzera, Fallen would be pulling off JW level highlight clips, but in even more pressured and intense environments of play. The key factor in Fallen's evolution of aggressive opping is his awareness. By IGLing and opping at the same time, Fallen brought a supreme level of map awareness and game sense to the role. In this clip from IEM Katowice 2016, we see Fallen hit ridiculous shots like JW, but then outmaneuver Na'Vi in a 1v3 scenario, winning a seemingly impossible round. This combination of insane flicks, unpredictable timings, and a seemingly supernatural level of map awareness further pushed the bounds of what was possible with the big green gun. Then we get to S1mple in 2017.
Well, should bait. Oh, I was going to say should bait it.
And now leaves it up to Kshander. A 3K for S1mple.
No scope to RPK and another.
The rest of the start side of him.
S1mple takes elements from all of these historical greats and manifests them into the highest peak we've ever seen from any opper in Counter-Strike history. He's not only playing the best CSGO of all time, but against the best teams and most intense pressures of all time. This round from DreamHack Marseille 2018 against Gambit on Train does a good job of showing the nuance of his skill. In round 8, we see S1mple push up to A main with the op aggressively. Gambit are in a default, and Mo looks to cross safely back to main, but S1mple hits a tight shot onto him crossing. This immediately lets Flamey push into main, securing lots of map pressure. Gambit back up through B halls and explodes down lower B. Zeus finds a kill but gets traded out. Immediately after, Adren takes out Flamey as he rotates through Z. With no utility and very limited weaponry to work with on the retake, this round largely rests on S1mple's shoulders. Watch how he swings wide around the Z smoke, out-dueling Adren, who is holding the angle. He then jumps onto the train to pick Hobbit, who is positioned perfectly to find the trade. S1mple is using ridiculous in-game awareness to find not only one, but 2 kills onto players directly countering his positioning. He then trades out C's through the smoke to close out the round for a 4K. Each kill in this clip is S1mple defying direct counters Gambit put into place specifically to stop him. He uses individual skill, awareness, and movement to completely undo the puzzle, from working the opening pick into the round like JW or Pasha would, to winning the op vs op duel like Kenny S or Guardian would, to then closing out the clutch with in-game smarts like Fallen or Device. This is just one clip though. S1mple does this every single tournament. As the CSGO scene continues to grow, we'll continue to see the metagame shift, throwing new obstacles at aggressive oppers like S1mple. Who will bring us the next evolution of opping then? Given how talented S1mple is, there's a good chance he'll still be at the top. Blitz Esports releases new CSGO videos every week. Subscribe so you don't miss a single one.